Hey there, this is Andrew. I'm going to bring you another Keyforge Winds of Exchange deck opening. This is from my game found order. And let's see. Saw lots of blue. I think a lot of enhancements here. So this is the Misses of Keegrave. There is not a lot to go on there in terms of guessing the name. I'm going to say Unfathomable, Star Alliance, Equidon. Hey, I got two right. Star Alliance, Equidon, and then we have Mars. So, and which token is this? Is this Scout? There's that Archon back. Very nice. Big hands up there at the top, I guess, something like that. Oops. That's not it. Yeah, this one should be it. Oh, Cadet. Ooh, that's interesting. Okay, so Cadet is a 1-power human with destroyed, ready Cadet's most powerful neighbor. That's really interesting. Wow, I don't think I've played with this one yet, and I'm pretty interested. Okay, color me intrigued. Let's see what we see. We'll start with Equidon. We have the rare Talent Scout, who is a 2-power Getrukia with an Amber Pip that may be used as if it belonged to the active house. When you play it, though, you look at your opponent's hand and play a creature from it as if it were yours, and then your opponent takes control of Talent Scout. So they get this 2-power creature that they can use whenever. However, you get the best creature out of their hand, which is pretty cool, actually. All right. Ooh, Gizrahi Blacksmith is a 4-power Getrukia Artisan with Elusive that says at the start of each player's turn, that player chooses to either make a token creature or draw a card. That could be extra interesting with Cadet because we could kind of see, ooh, Cadet's not going to come in ready, but is there a way that we could abuse the Cadet to get value out of some other creature? If so, okay, we'll go ahead and make the Cadet. Otherwise, draw a card. So I like that option there. Scrap Scrounger is a 4-power Getrukia Artisan that says after Reap, swap an artifact from your discard pile with a card in your hand. We haven't seen any artifacts yet, but could be good. Then we have Shizuoku Swapper. I just realized actually, by the way, that Scrap Scrounger is made better in a deck with tokens because you're more likely to cycle to have an artifact come out as a token and therefore not be able to be played as an artifact, and this gives you an opportunity to get it back. Okay, Shizuoku Swapper is a 1-power Getrukia with 5 armor. This says after fight, swap control of this creature and the creature it fights. Both creatures have to survive. Between that and the Talent Scout, we have at least 2 options now for getting control of an opponent's creature. That's fun. Belligerent Guard is an 8-power giant that enters play ready, but when you play it, your opponent draws a card. I think it's a great, really fun swap, so seems really nice. Then we have Forced Retirement. It's an action that says play, destroy a creature. If you do, its controller gains 1 amber. So, and notice it is controller, not owner. So in some cases, this might be useful to do against the thing you just swapped in, or the thing that you took control of with Talent Scout if they have good destroyed effects. Otherwise, you might do it to the Talent Scout or Swapper to say, okay, I'm denying you access to those now. Let them have an amber, that's fine. Got another Forced Retirement. These also, wow, I just realized these are great with the Cadet because, I mean, let's say you play a Belligerent Guard, it comes in ready, your opponent draws a card, you reap with it, but it's next to a Cadet, so now you Forced Retirement the Cadet, get an amber, re-ready the Belligerent Guard, etc. I mean, there's really cool options there. Do we have token generation yet? I don't think I've seen a single token generation card yet, though, so that we'll have to see what we get there. Generous Offer, again, useful for the Cadet. It's an action, play destroy a friendly creature. If you do, steal 2 amber. Well, in this case, if you steal 2 amber and get to ready a creature, that's pretty awesome. Mass Buyout. This unfortunately won't pair that well with the Cadet. When you play it, you destroy each creature. Each player gains amber equal to half the number of creatures they control that were destroyed this way, rounded up. But at least you get an amber for it. And if you end up with things that are worded, then I guess you get some value there. But by and large, probably you're just getting amber from that. Then this will participate in those enhancements that I thought I saw. Stuart Su Uziane is a 2-power human artisan with enhance, 2 ambers, and a draw. And we have not seen any of those enhancements come out yet. So we'll have to see where those come. There's a draw. We have the old Tinker, a 3-power Gatrukia artisan with elusive that says after reap, discard a card from your hand, draw a card. That's really nice to ready with the Cadet. And lastly, we have, lastly for Equidon anyway, we have the Invisible Hand. It's an action that says play, make 2 token creatures, reveal your hand to your opponent. And that actually could be nice with some of these other things that want to destroy a creature, because make 2 cadets, and then you can use them to ready stuff. I mean, if you play Old Tinker and then Visible Hand, right, then you have 2 cadets that you can destroy with Forced Retirements or Generous Offer in order to get reaps out of Old Tinker. It seems like a good deal. All right, that's very interesting. Let's see what we get in Mars. We'll start with Extinction. It's a rare action that says play, destroy a creature, and each creature that shares a trait with it gain 1 chain. So it's a nice, potentially pretty one-sided board wipe. Not really a wipe, because if your opponent has diversity in creature traits, you won't be able to kill everything. But usually you can craft it to where you're doing a lot more damage to them than to yourself, which makes the chain pretty appropriate. Probably only 1 chain makes a lot of sense because again, you're not probably going to be able to wipe their whole board with it. It seems extra strong against tokens, though. Yeah, and I think that first showed up in Age of Ascension. Then we have Airlock. It's a location. It's an artifact. It has action. Discard a non-Mars card from your hand if you do draw a card. That I really like, because I mean, compare it to like library card. Library card just lets you draw a card. So is that better? Well, not necessarily, because this lets you filter out. You're always going to be discarding the least useful card at the moment in order to draw a card. So that actually is going to free you up to draw more in the long run. And we've got 2 of those. That's fun. Okay, then we have Crystal Hive. Okay, that could prove really nice with the Cadet if we can get Cadets next to our Mars creatures. I mean, if you had a nice sprinkling, you could even Extinction your Cadets to get a bunch of reaps with Crystal Hive. I mean, I could see that being the right thing to do. Ooh, Destroy Them All. That's some nice artifact control. It's an action that says play, destroy an artifact, a creature, and an upgrade. And those destructions are all simultaneous, actually, despite the, well, not despite, but they are simultaneous if it matters. Then we have Mothership Support, an action with an amber that has you, when you play it, for each friendly ready Mars creature, deal 2 damage to a creature, and you can choose a different creature each time. By the way, have not seen an actual Mars creature yet in the first 6 Mars cards, so we'll see what we get. We should get some. And there's one. Zizok is a 3-power Martian soldier with skirmish and splash attack 1. And after an enemy creature is destroyed by that splash attack damage, you ready Zizok. That's cool. That's a nice way to get good use out of it. And also you could potentially, do some fighting and then get a Crystal Hive reap in still. Brain Dart is an action with an amber. When you play it, you enrage an enemy creature and it captures 1 from its own side. That's very nice. We've got Clone Home. It's an action that has you make a token creature, and if there are more friendly creatures than enemy creatures, you archive Clone Home. Potentially very useful. Less so if we're not getting a lot of creatures on the board, but we'll see what we're able to do here. And we have another Clone Home. These actually stack nicely, right? If you have 2 of them, if you archive the first one, you're going to certainly get to archive the second one. Then we have Glylix Weaponsmith, a 4-power Martian artisan with 1 armor. It adds 2 damage enhancements and a draw, but it got an amber enhancement. So very interesting there. And that's just a nice little body in terms of, its presence on the board. It's not going to do, it doesn't have amazing effects, but 4 power, 1 armor is not nothing. Then we have Ironix Vatminder, who's a 3-power Martian Ironix with 1 armor and has play destroyed, make a token creature. So, okay, there's some token generation there. And interesting, the slight bummer here is there's not a ton of ways to use the cadets on your Mars turns, although I will say there are some ways, right? Like Mothership Support actually could get them. That Extinction could get all of them. Destroy Them All could get 1 if that's your best option. So there are options, just not necessarily super obvious ones. We do have a couple damage pips that are going to come out, as well as I think another amber. So, and another draw. So, I expect that in Star Alliance we'll get to pop some cadets with amber or with damage pips if we wanted. To start out, we'll see an Uncharted Lands. This is an artifact with an amber. It's a location, and when you play it, you play 6 amber from the common supply onto it, and then each Star Alliance creature gains after Reap, move 1 amber from Uncharted Land to your pool. Well, that's actually extra strong considering our token is Star Alliance. So even in other houses, we're going to be generating Star Alliance creatures that if they sit on the board, we can just drop the Uncharted Lands and reap a lot. Interesting also to have this with the Crystal Hive, because that means both in Mars and Star Alliance we have ways to get double value out of reap. Although the Uncharted Lands one, well, it's again interesting. The Uncharted Lands, the advantage is that it doesn't have to be ready. You just drop it and immediately you can get value from it. Whereas Crystal Hives, you need to play and then wait till your next Mars turn to get value out of. Uncharted Lands just comes down and you can get the value right away. But the disadvantage is you only have 6 on there. Of course, if you've gotten 6 amber of value out of it, you've also gotten 6 from reaping. So you've gotten 12 amber and you're 2/3 of the way toward winning. Other issues aside. All right, let's see what else we have here. Oh, FOF Transponder is an upgrade that says this creature gains destroyed, make a token creature, attach FOF Transponder to that creature. And interestingly, of course, you could put this on a cadet, and it means that when the cadet dies, you actually could. Oh, wow. So you could actually trigger this destroyed effect first, create a new cadet, attach the FOF transponder to that, then this one finishes dying with this destroyed effect, which would ready either the new cadet that you just made, or if probably you have another more powerful neighbor, ready that. But now you have another cadet with an FOF transponder on it. That's pretty cool. I like that combo. Wow. Next, Quintrino Warp. Okay, so this is an action. When you play it, you choose a friendly creature and an enemy creature. You destroy those creatures and each creature that shares a house with either of them, and then you get a chain. So you're destroying 1 to 2 full houses from the board in terms of creatures. So, and then you get a chain. It could be, you have 1 Mars creature and your opponent has 5 Mars creatures and 6 Logos creatures, and you have a pretty one-sided wipe. So, that's really nice. I like that card. All right, SV3 Lander. Ooh, really nice. It's an artifact. It's also a vehicle. When you play it, you make a token creature, and it has Omni, destroy it, and for the remainder of the turn, you may use friendly token creatures. So that also could help you get that cadet value while you're in other houses. Super nice. In fact, that could actually let you reap with the cadets on your Crystal Hive turn, which could be bonkers, or just, there's a lot of options. Wow. Okay. That's a big threat. Transporter Platform is an artifact with an amber. It's a location. And when you action it, you return a friendly creature and each upgrade attached to it into their owner's hands. The only upgrade I've seen so far, I think, is that FOF Transponder, which doesn't get a lot of value out of being moved because there's no amber on it. So, but we'll see what else we get. Okay, CR Officer Hawkins is a 2-power human. This one got a draw icon on it. That's fun. It has deploy, and when you play it, you gain 1 amber for each of its non-Star Alliance neighbors. That is a little less powerful because we have an in-house token, but still there are good options. But that does make it a little less powerful because so many of our creatures are likely to be Star Alliance. Whereas if you had a token creature in a different house, you could generate a couple of tokens and then put Hawkins in between them to gain 2 amber, even if you started with an empty board. Okay, Rogue Operation is an action. When you play it, you discard the top 2 cards of your deck, and you steal 1 amber for each house represented among the discarded cards. So you're guaranteed to steal 1. Possibly you can steal 2. That's pretty nice. We got another one of those. Not too shabby. Then we have Scout Chief Courageer, who's a 2-power alien Kirksix. With play, make a token creature, and also after fight, after reap, make a token creature. That's really your old school play, fight, reap, just they made it longer. Then we have Securidroid, a 4-power robot. This one got a damage pip on it. It has taunt, but it can be played as an upgrade instead, in which case it gives the creature it's attached to taunt. That could be nice with a transporter platform, assuming you're going to get great value out of that damage pip. Teamwork is an action. When you play it, you make a token creature, and if there are more enemy creatures than friendly creatures, you archive Teamwork. That's doing the opposite of those clone homes, but that's all right. And then lastly, we have Uplink, and upgrade with an amber. Gives a creature action, make a token creature for each of this creature's non-Star Alliance neighbors, and this has a damage on it. And you could, I could see, sometimes I struggle with the value of Uplink because you're essentially trading a Reap for Amber right now for making 2 token creatures that might get you value later. But with Cadet, you might actually have the ability, even in another house, right, to make immediate use of them by destroying them. So that could actually be quite good. And you could actually get multiple Reaps out of it. The other thing is this does work nicely with the transporter platform. So I could see a world where we have some creatures on the board and we do a great play CR Officer Hawkins, draw, play uplink, get 2 amber, play uplink, get another amber, do a damage, transporter platform, play CR Officer Hawkins again, play uplink again, and by the end of that little maneuver, we've drawn 2 cards, gained 6 amber, and done 2 spot damage. So, there are some good options there. I really like Cadet. I think that's a pretty interesting creature, and obviously, destroyed draw card is really good. This has probably more interesting variety of ways that it could be good. So seems very interesting, and I am looking forward to trying it out. Thanks for watching. Oh, really quick, I should do a couple stats. How much token generation we have? I'm just going to count cards that do any token generation. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I think it's just 9. So 9 cards that do token generation. How many amber pips do we have total? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Not a lot, but I think with the Uncharted lands and the Crystal Hives in conjunction with the Cadet, actually the expected amber should be quite a lot higher. I'm just not sure how much higher. And then lastly, how many creatures do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So 13 is not a high number. I like lower numbers, especially with all the tokens. It does mean we don't have a lot of big bodies, and so we're really going to need to rely on those actions that do board control to get quality board control in. and need to get good value out of the creatures we have by leveraging the cadets, which again I think is a pretty decent option. So anyway, that was the misses of Keegrave. Hope you enjoyed and that you'll get out there and forge some keys.